Hi there. In this video, I'm going to be talking about errors in econometrics. Specifically, I'm going to be comparing what we understand by population errors versus our sort of sample or sort of econometric errors. So the idea here is that we have some sort of population. And in that population, there is some sort of process, which is, let's say we're thinking about wages. And in this population, we know that wages happens to be determined by a sort of linear combination of the number of years of education plus some sort of a measure of innate ability. However, education and ability don't determine someone's wages perfectly. There is some sort of idiosyncratic error which makes someone's wages either sort of above or below average. So we can sort of think about this error here as being sort of perhaps IID with mean 0 and variance sigma squared. So the sort of interpretation of this error becomes more obvious once you take the expectation of wages given someone's level of education and ability. If we take the expectation of this, well, we just get alpha plus beta 1 times education plus beta 2 times ability, where the sort of expectation of our error is in fact 0. So you can see here that error, what it is, this sort of error, this population error, U, is some sort of personal idiosyncratic factor which is making someone's wages either above or below average. So you can think about someone with a given level of education and given level of ability might choose to become an investment banker, in which case their U will be positive. They will earn a sort of above average wage. However, someone with the same amount of education and the same ability might choose to become a university lecturer, in which case, given their level of education and ability, their actual level of wages will in fact probably be less than the average. So U would be negative in this example. So that's the population error. However, in econometrics, it's very rare that we actually have the population data. We actually normally just have a sample of data. And from that sample, we're trying to make some estimate of what's going on in the population. Specifically, we might be thinking about, can we estimate the population errors, U, from our sample? So let's say on our sample, we only have individuals' level of wages and their education. So when we sort of fit our least squared regression, we get out some sort of estimate of the population error U, which I'm going to call U hat. In sort of regression programs, this U hat is normally referred to as a sort of residual, or your residuals is what you sort of call this error. But notice, because of the fact that we don't actually have people's individual level of ability in our sample data, our residuals, U hat, aren't actually going to be a particularly good estimate of the population errors U. In fact, they're almost certainly not going to be, because of the fact that this U hat intrinsically is going to contain some measure of innate ability. So that's really only the point I wanted to stress in this video. It's only under a very certain set of conditions whereby I've specified my sample model perfectly, and that it will actually turn out to be the case that my sort of errors in my estimated model, my regression model, turn out to be good estimates of the population errors.